If you've ever wondered how to build a course from end to end, especially how to do that course outline, then you're watching the right video. Let's get it. Okay, now I'll be real with you. It's day one. It's 6:12 in the morning. I got up at 5:55 to make sure I get to do this. And it's taken, 10 minutes to get the coffee and set up the ring light because lo and behold, it's dark this early in the morning. And I'm so excited to be here because this is an opportunity for me to share with you what it's like to to build a program end to end, front to back in one video series. Now, this series is all about this micro program that I have. A micro program is a 60 to 90-minute mini course, if you will. And you can use it in many different ways in your business, but I'm going to choose to offer it for free. So after watching this series, you're going to get access to the end result of this program. Pretty cool. And throughout the way, the entire journey here, you're going to see how I make decisions on choosing, gosh, everything, I suppose, about bringing this program to life. I do think it's important to know that I am not starting from scratch in this scenario. I have done things like this in a week where I completely build a program from scratch, a micro program. I should be super clear, a micro program from scratch. However, in those cases, I had an entire week available and blocked to do that. In this case, I don't. So I have I don't know. Let's look at my calendar. So this is my calendar this week. You can see I've got a full day today. Like we're working with a new client and bringing a lot of things to life for him today. I've got all of my team calls tomorrow. I've got a couple podcasts tomorrow. I have some meetups with my mastermind group on Wednesday, a sales call on Wednesday, an offboarding call on Wednesday, and I've got a couple clients on Thursday. So I think it's really important to note that and then by the way, Friday we leave for our honeymoon. So all this time I'm also prepping for my honeymoon. So I think it's really important to realize that uh I am doing this with a pretty full schedule, especially on the front end of the week, and it is achievable if I'm revamping. If I was starting from scratch, even with all of my talent, my team, my skills, and have doing this so many times, it wouldn't be possible to create a program of the caliber that I'm looking to create. A lot of people think oh, I can just, voice record me talking and that can be my program. And while it can absolutely be your program, I that caliber of program is not aligned with the level of quality that I want my students, you, to receive. So this is something you'll hear, this idea of getting it done versus quality is something you'll hear come back again and again throughout this series, because that's always the question, is speed or quality. You normally can't have both unless you pay for it. So in this sense, we want to make sure that I'm doing this myself. I'm involving some of my team, but not most of my team because they're busy working on client projects. So it's all about, balancing what's the best quality I can get in the time that am able and willing to commit to this. And sometimes that increases and sometimes this decreases and sometimes it doesn't, right? So sometimes it goes the opposite. So I think that's really important. Now, this video, day one, right, is all about the first couple of steps in our process. So this is our process. This is the course flow to cash flow method. This is how we create programs, and your program or your course is really just an asset that you can leverage over and over and over again in so many different ways for so many different purposes in your business. If you haven't heard me say this already, the main mindset difference when it comes to product that I see in 6-figure and 7-figure course creators is 6-figure course creators see this as like a thing that I built that I need to sell in the way that I built it, and a thing that I built that is the offer, like the course is the offer. 7-figure course creators, and I should say 7-figure business owners, because they see this as an asset that they can leverage in a bunch of different ways. Like if you just take my husband, for example, we've done this process with him multiple times at this point. His name is Brad Hart. He's super cute. We built his program and he has turned it into a live event. He has leveraged it in his new book that's coming out. He has uh, put it like in micro courses, so in smaller bite-sized chunks. He's pulled out lead magnets from that course. He has like used it in all kinds of different ways. This one thing that we did one time, it's an asset that he's leveraging in multiple different places. And so again, most people who are 6-figure course creators, they think, I'm going to build a course, I'm going to sell the course. And that is one way to leverage the asset. But my 7-figure course creators and really business owners, they see this as something completely different. So really, when we're thinking about course flow to cash flow, it's yes, creating a program so that you can get to cash flow by leveraging it in so many different ways. Okay, so back to this. Let's think about I'll go through these real high levels so you kind of understand, and then I'm gonna break down how it works over the course of this week. So evaluate is when we look at what you currently have. Evaluate, it gives us the opportunity to see what we're working with. So some of our clients, they will send us podcast episodes, they'll send us books that they've written. Like books to courses, one of the easiest things in the world. We love them because it doesn't require like much creator time on their end. Sometimes they'll send us blog posts or interviews or team trainings they've done, all kinds of stuff. They send us assets that they currently have. In the case of what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you some content that I've developed over the course of time for different groups that I have presented to, and I'm largely using that and leveraging that to build out this new micro program. Second, we have architect. Architect is when we map out the course outline and the unique method or the framework. Okay, that's part 2. Those I've found like we can do this pretty quickly. For instance, I just showed you my calendar and I have a whole day scheduled. That's an architect day. So we will do this whole thing in one day, even for signature programs that are 4 to 5 hours of content. So architect can happen really fast. Now the build phase, which is when we write the video scripts, the slide decks, the workbooks, all of the assets that we need to use to provide the learning experience, that's third. That's what takes the most time. So I'm probably going to spend 2 days doing that. Then we have video, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to video this program and you'll see kind of how I do that and the decisions I make. There's so many different ways to video. We have full service video production. We can go in studio. I'd say most of our clients choose to do it virtually just because it's more convenient and more cost effective. So we do virtual video production, we do video editing, the whole nine, but you'll see how I come to make decisions about this product and the video choices I make there, based on what I'm doing now and what I'm really leveraging this for first. And then finally, upload, which is pulling it into a course platform so that students have the opportunity to listen and learn. All right. So that's our full process for course creation and how we do things. And that's exactly what I'm going to use this own process to build my own thing here in this video series. Okay. So step 1, evaluate. Let me show you what I'm working with to build this mini program. This is a slide deck that I have from doing a lot of various group coachings, group trainings. So I've been so blessed to make so many friends in this industry. Shout out to Jake Kelfer. I've used this to teach his at his live events. Graham Cochran, I've done many programs for his people. Gemma, like there's so many people who teach sales and marketing of how to build courses, and I get to come in and really support their people in building really great products that get people results, because teaching is a skill, just like copywriting is a skill and sales is a skill and web design is a skill. Like these are all skills and teaching is a skill. So that's really the gap that we come in and fill. And so here you can see like this is like one of those This is one of those slide decks that you kind of just keep adding to and changing over time. If you do speaking, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you do any presentations, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you kind of you shift it a little bit based on who the person is that you're talking to, but you try and adapt to the audience, yet most of the content is the same. So it just becomes this really cluttered, super long slide deck with all kinds of stuff in it, right? So um that is where I'm at with this slide deck. But you know, I can leverage a lot of these things. So I'm evaluating this and thinking, okay, here's what I have to work with. What's the really good stuff here that I can leverage? The other thing I'll mention is that this is old branding for me. So all of these colors, this is from my Jasmine Jonte personal brand, which I moved out of using that. And so now I'm really using the creation, which is our agency, under our agency brand. Now, this other slide deck I have over here, I have a lot of content here as well. This is the training that I've done, and a lot of it's on hidden mode. But much of this training I have used to develop videos for our clients to help them through the process to know like, hey, this is coming up next. Here's what you can expect working with us during, you know, this tiny element um of our process. Because really building a program, and I think the reason so many people struggle with it is because it's a huge set of dominoes. Like, and if you have those dominoes out of order, the whole thing just shuts down. Like for instance, right? I'm talking about taking some of this and rebranding. Well, if I didn't have a slide deck template already using my new branding, I would have to pause what I'm doing with content, go back, make that happen so that then I could go and design inside the slide deck. Potentially, there's ways around that. But it just illustrates the point that if you don't have things in the right order, you feel like you're backtracking all the time and you're making no progress. And if you've ever tried to build a course on your own, then you probably have had a few moments of frustration because of that idea of like, oh man, now I got to backtrack and do something because I didn't realize I needed this thing to do the thing. uh, okay, so I'm kind of as I evaluate these, right? I'm looking at these again from this perspective of what can I use? What do I not want to use? And then of that, what best illustrates what I'm teaching? Because the truth is, a lot of this stuff in here, you don't need to know in order to get our process. Like a lot of this is things that were helpful in the instance that I use them, but they're not the most helpful in the instance that I am now teaching inside of this product or program. So I can definitely repurpose and leverage things, but a lot of this evaluation element is coming to the discernment of with this new product and the new promise for this new product, what's the best fit? And with this product, right, what I'm doing in this whole video series is showing you our process. And my goal with this micro course is to give you the option to DIY as much of this process as possible in a way that doesn't require a whole ton of technical skill. Okay, so that's my goal is like if you were to just MVP beta a product, get something out there quick and dirty, how could you do that? What would that look like? And how would I do that? Which is what I'm doing right now. So, but I think that you're with me. In the next video in this series, you're going to learn about how to create a course outline. I know, very juicy, very exciting. And then you'll go into how to script your videos, how to record your videos, how to build a portal, all kinds of good stuff. Now, the actual program itself, my free course, is available. So click the link below if you want to skip to the end and just go check it out. But if you want the behind the scenes, keep watching. We'll see you in the next video.